Heaven released a financial shift on September 2, but Archangel Michael detected interference from someone close to you. He blocked the worst of it, but time is running out to receive what's yours. Open this within 3 minutes, or lose the blessing meant for you. September 2 was not just another passing day. It was not a blur on the calendar, nor was it a moment to be overlooked. No, it was a divine appointment, a spiritual threshold where heaven released a financial shift into the earth realm. On that date, the heavens opened and released provision, favor, and financial oil for a specific group of people. Not for everyone. Not for the casual listener. Not for the lukewarm or the double-minded. This shift was for the set apart, the ones who have walked through fire in silence, the ones who kept sowing when there was nothing left to give, the ones who held their tongue when slander came from the very ones they helped. These are the chosen, and this release had your name written in light across it. Heaven saw you. God remembered you. And the treasury of heaven opened on your behalf. But just as the blessing was dispatched, just as the release was set in motion, Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's armies, detected interference. Not from a far enemy. Not from a stranger. But from someone close. Someone who smiled in your face, but carried a hidden dagger. Someone who sensed something was being released to you and tried to block what they did not understand. They tried, but they failed. Michael stepped in. His sword drew a line in the spirit. He intercepted what could have been your loss and held back what was meant to devour. He blocked the worst of it. But listen closely now. The blessing is still hovering. It's been released, but not yet received. It's caught in the in-between, waiting for alignment, waiting for obedience, waiting for your spiritual sensitivity to catch up to the moment. This is not the time to be distracted. This is not the time to be passive. What was meant for you is still within reach, but the gates are narrowing. You have entered the countdown. The blessing cannot hover much longer. The question is no longer was it sent, but will you receive it before it returns to the treasury of heaven? The Spirit says, be still. Be watchful. Be ready. Your obedience will decide whether the release lands in your hand or passes you by. Type I receive IT in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 0902 is surrounding you now. The courts of heaven have already ruled. The treasury of glory has already opened. And standing at the threshold of your financial release is one who does not slumber. Archangel Michael, sword drawn, flame in his eyes, stationed beside what is rightfully yours. Listen closely now. Within the next 72 hours, what was sealed in the Spirit will begin to demand your response on earth. Heaven is not waiting on God. Heaven is waiting on you. Right now, in the throne room of the Most High, your name is still echoing. Your petitions are still rising as incense. And before the throne, where mercy and justice meet, Michael is not just watching, he is guarding. He is standing in defense of the shift that was released over your life on September 2, the financial breakthrough, the unexpected resources, the release of provision that's been withheld for years. But hear this warning in the Spirit. It did not go unchallenged. Someone saw the light begin to shine over you. A close figure, possibly one you've laughed with, worked with, or even prayed with. They caught wind in the realm of the soul, a knowing, a glimpse, a spiritual jealousy they could not explain, and instead of celebrating, they started interfering. Yes, it is true, not every smiling face is a safe one. Not every inner circle is sanctified. And sometimes, the warfare doesn't come from the shadows, it comes from the familiar. But here is the divine reversal. They did not know that what they touched had heaven's fingerprint on it. They did not realize that the release had already been authorized. Their interference was real, but it was too late to destroy it. They could only delay it, and even that was intercepted. Archangel Michael, the warring angel assigned to guard divine promises, caught it in the air. He blocked the worst, broke the spiritual chain that was forming, and held a line until now. But time is running out. There is a hovering in the spirit realm. The blessing is circling like a dove looking for a place to land, and you must be positioned. Obedient. Watchful. Aligned. Still. This word is not for every ear. This message is not for the masses. This is a divine whisper wrapped in urgency, sent to those who feel a shaking in their belly. You can sense it. Something is coming. Something was loosed, and yet it hasn't fully arrived. And now you know why. Someone close to you warred against what they didn't understand. Do not harden your heart. Do not let this word pass like wind. Heaven is watching your response. The very way you react in these next 72 hours will determine how and when the full release reaches your hands. And if you've opened this within the first 3 minutes, that is not by accident. That is because you are still within divine timing. Now open your heart. Still your mind. This message will expose, awaken, and deliver. But only if you receive it in fullness. Lift your hands where you are. Whisper in faith, I'm listening. Let heaven hear it. Let Michael hear it. Let the blessing feel it. You have not missed it, but you must move in alignment now. Type I'm listening in the comments if you're ready to receive. Blessing code 7272 has entered your atmosphere. Let this truth settle deeply into your spirit. The interference did not come from the enemy outside your gates, it came from within your walls. It wasn't a distant hater. It wasn't a stranger behind a screen. No, it was someone near. Someone you trusted. Someone you gave access to the inner courts of your life. They saw something glowing on you after September 2. They may not have known exactly what it was, but their spirit flinched when yours began to rise. You noticed it, in small ways. The smile that didn't reach their eyes. The subtle shift in their tone. The silence when others clapped for you. The way their congratulations came late, or not at all. You brushed it off. You tried not to overthink. But the spirit discerned what your heart was too soft to confront. They were not rejoicing, they were resisting. They didn't want the blessing to reach your hands. Not because you were unworthy, but because they feared what your elevation would reveal about their stagnation. They sensed heaven had turned its face toward you. They saw the favor start to follow you. And instead of covering you, instead of interceding, instead of protecting your oil, they allowed envy to speak through them in quiet places. There may have been gossip. There may have been false concern masked as advice. Are you sure this is God? They asked. You're moving too fast, they warned. But it wasn't about care, it was about control. Because the moment you stepped into God's financial shift, you became a mirror, reflecting to them what they failed to become. You are not crazy for what you felt. You are not paranoid for what you sensed. Your spirit was sounding the alarm before your mind could catch up. And now you sit in a place of disruption. Your heart is conflicted. You want to love them. You still remember what they meant to you. But something in your spirit can no longer pretend. Something has been exposed. The interference didn't come wrapped in darkness. It came wearing light. That's why it hurt. That's why it shook you. That's why your spirit felt betrayal, and your soul couldn't explain why. Here is the sobering truth. They tried to block what they could not control. They tried to delay what they were never meant to carry. They tried to intercept what had heaven's fingerprint, but their name was never on the scroll. Let the disruption do its work. Let the sorrow turn into discernment. Let the ache become an alarm. You are not being punished. You are being preserved. You are not losing friends. You are gaining clarity. You are not being isolated. You are being hidden for elevation. They saw the shift. But because it did not come through them, because it wasn't filtered by their hands, they tried to stop what was already written. But what God releases cannot be revoked by human hands. This moment was designed to shake you, not to break you. Heaven is allowing this unveiling, not to damage you, but to deliver you. Let the grief come. Let the realization settle. Then release them and rise. Type "I release them" in the comments if this resonates. Blessing code 5544 is sealing your peace. Just as heaven has been revealing hidden interference in your life, this channel is committed to exposing the schemes of darkness and igniting divine alignment. When you support this mission, whether through super thanks, membership, or a one-time PayPal, see link in the video description, you're not just giving, you're activating the oil. You're sowing into clarity. You're sowing into truth. You're sowing into revelation. The word says in Proverbs 11:25, "Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed." When you give here, you help us reach more souls who need prophetic awakening. I feel led to say this. Some of your financial shift is locked behind your generosity. This is holy ground. Your seed is a statement of faith, a weapon against the very interference we've just exposed. Sow boldly, sow prophetically, sow with expectation. Blessing code 777 is now loosed over every supporter. Don't delay. Release your offering and receive heaven's release. This war you're feeling is not just emotional. It is not just relational. This conflict is not merely a falling out, not merely drama, not just jealousy or envy in human form. No, what you're facing is spiritual warfare, strategically assigned to stop your financial shift from entering the earth realm. Let me say it plainly. You are under attack because of your calling. You are being opposed because of your assignment. You are being resisted because of the weight of what God has released to you. Ever since September 2, the spirit realm has been shaking around you. That date marked a spiritual transaction. Heaven moved, and the earth was supposed to follow. What you didn't realize was that the blessing wasn't just provision, it was promotion. The financial shift was not just about increase, it was about authority. You were being elevated to walk in dominion in areas you previously only survived in. And when the enemy, and those influenced by him, sensed that shift, they activated. That's why things got strange. That's why people flipped. That's why the sudden illness, the random attacks, the out-of-nowhere confusion started falling like darts around you. It was never about the moment. It was always about your mantle. This isn't a personality conflict. This is possession warfare. There's something heaven wants you to possess, and darkness wants to delay it long enough to discourage you, divide you, or distract you from the path that was lit for your feet. But the Father never leaves his children unguarded. That's why Michael stepped in. Yes, the Archangel. The one who fights in the book of Daniel. The one who contends over destinies. The one who pushes through demonic delay in the second heaven. The one assigned to defend God's decree over your life. When the interference rose, Michael responded. He cut through the noise. He shut down the full attack. He intercepted what could have paralyzed your progress. But hear this, he didn't cancel your role. He simply bought you time. Heaven is watching you now. Watching how you respond. Watching what you believe. Watching how you carry this moment. Every reaction, every thought, every spoken word is being weighed. Because this blessing was released to the mature, to the watchful, to the ones who can handle the cost of carrying increase. You must now rise in discernment. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's proof. It's evidence that what you carry is valuable. No one robs an empty vault. No one wages war over empty soil. If you feel the heat, it's because your promise is worth the fight. But now the responsibility is shifting. Heaven already acted. Now, Earth must respond. Your awareness matters. Your silence matters. Your alignment matters. You cannot afford to lash out in the flesh. You cannot afford to give energy to the wrong voices. The enemy is hoping you'll react wrong, so the blessing gets delayed longer. But you won't. You can. Not now. This is your moment to see the warfare for what it truly is, not an attack on your emotions, but an attack on your access. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you're being formed to receive. Let the veil lift. Let your spirit sharpen. Let the shaking refine you, not distract you. Because when heaven saw interference coming, it didn't panic. It sent Michael. And when Michael drew his sword, heaven told you, I've still got you. Type heaven is watching in the comments if you understand the weight of this war. Blessing code 6060 is now activated in your awareness. Time is no longer neutral. Time is now a weapon. Time is now a test. The Spirit of the Lord says, time is running out. You've been covered. You've been shielded. The worst of it was blocked by the command of heaven. But understand this clearly. Heaven doesn't wait forever. There is a divine countdown ticking in the background of your life, and in this very moment, the seconds are turning to smoke. What was hovering is now pressing. What was spiritual is now demanding physical alignment. This is the final call for obedience. Within the next 3 minutes spiritually, and within the next 3 days physically, the blessing that was released over your name, the financial shift, the divine provision, the unexpected restoration will come seeking alignment. It will not come chasing chaos. It will not rest on disobedience. It will not pour where honor is absent. Heaven is no longer asking. Heaven is searching for your agreement. Feel the pressure building in the unseen realm. This is not just tension. This is divine convergence. Angels are standing by. Michael has held the line. But they cannot release what you will not align with. They cannot force what you have not prepared to carry. And the enemy knows this. That is why he launched the interference early. That's why betrayal came from someone close. Because if he could distract you long enough, you'd miss the window. But hear me now. The window is still open. Just barely. But open. You are standing in the last stretch before either the blessing manifests in your hands or gets reabsorbed into the realm of the not yet. And yes, you will see signs. Sudden conversations will come out of nowhere. People who previously ignored you will suddenly remember you. Dreams will be vivid. Money will move strangely. Unexpected deposits or unexplained delays. There will be moments of tension, awkward silences, uneasy encounters that will feel like nothing but they are everything. These are the veiled signals. These are heaven's nudges. The Spirit is whispering, watch. Stay alert. Listen deeper. You are not crazy. What you are feeling is real. The pressure in your chest. The sudden waves of emotion. The random tears. The restlessness when everything is quiet. This is your spirit preparing to move. And still, the fullness of the revelation has not been released. Not because God is hiding it, but because the mystery is your protection. If you knew too much too soon, you'd fight in the flesh. You'd go to war with a person when the true enemy has always been the spirit behind them. So heaven keeps some things concealed, not to punish you, but to position you. This is a delicate hour. One wrong move can shift the entire outcome. But one obedient step, one holy posture, one whisper of yes, Lord, can break the delay and pull the promise into manifestation. You are not powerless. You are not late. But you are standing at the very edge of decision. Step wrong, and the blessing hovers longer. Step right, and the shift descends like oil on your hands. Now choose. Heaven is watching. The clock is ticking. The blessing is waiting. The realm of the Spirit has brought you here for this moment. Type "I choose alignment" in the comments if you feel the urgency. Blessing code 333 is now counting down around you. Now hear this, and hear it as a divine command. Do not fight back in the flesh. This is not the time to clap back, to defend your name, to prove your worth, or to unmask the one who interfered. That would only invite unnecessary warfare. That would only drain your oil. That would only pull you back into cycles you were born to break. Instead, be still. Be still, because the battle is already being waged. Not with your hands, but with Michael's sword. The war is in the Spirit, and heaven fights for those who hold their peace. This season is about precision. This season is about posture. What is being delivered to you is too heavy, too sacred, too loaded with destiny for you to mishandle it through emotional reaction. The blessing is not coming through noise. It is descending through quiet obedience. If you lash out, if you let your emotions lead, if you spill what God told you to seal, you may delay what was moments from arriving. This is not silence out of fear. This is silence as a weapon. You don't have to defend yourself. The Lord is your defense. You don't have to retaliate. Heaven already responded when Michael was dispatched. What you must do now is listen. Watch. Fast if led. Guard your words. Refuse to explain yourself to those who were never called to understand you. Let the fire burn away the need to be understood, and let the anointing teach you how to walk in strategic stillness. There is a power in watching. There is wisdom in waiting. Some blessings are missed because we speak prematurely. Some victories are lost because we fought battles God never told us to touch. But not this time. Not this release. Not this assignment. You will win this one in silence. God is not asking you to trust people. He's asking you to trust Him. He's not asking you to reconcile confusion. He's asking you to withdraw into His presence and let the divine exchange happen behind the veil. Your job is not to expose the interference. Your job is to stay in position while heaven finishes the fight you never saw begin. And let me give you this assurance: what is yours cannot be stolen. What has your name on it in heaven cannot be overwritten by earthly envy. It can only be delayed, and only if you step out of alignment. But as long as you remain still, as long as you remain watchful, as long as you let your heart be governed by the Spirit, the blessing will locate you. And when it comes, it will not come bruised. It will not come diminished. It will come pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will come with interest, with vindication, with evidence that you waited wisely. This is your protective command. Do not move ahead of God. Do not expose the interference. Do not post about the betrayal. Let heaven handle it. Watch. Listen. Stay hidden. And trust. The one who tried to block your release will soon have to watch you walk in it. Type "I will be still" in the comments if your spirit receives this instruction. Blessing code 4411 is guarding your obedience. You've heard the interference. You've seen the betrayal. You've felt the warfare pressing in around you. But now, heaven is turning the page. The narrative is shifting. And it's time you understand. You are not a victim of this battle. You are the victor emerging from it. You are not being swallowed by opposition. You are being forged in fire. This is not your breakdown. This is your breakthrough, disguised in the heat of resistance. You are not sinking. You are ascending, and the very flames the enemy sent to consume you have now become the very wind beneath your wings. The Spirit of the Lord declares, you are rising. Not in arrogance, not in rebellion, not in flesh, but in divine authority, in quiet power, in prophetic fulfillment. The attack didn't end you, it revealed you. It uncovered what was already in you: resilience, authority, maturity, grace under fire, stillness in the storm, power that doesn't perform, it just exists. Who you were before September 2 is not who you are now. That version of you, the one that second-guessed, the one that settled, the one that waited for permission, has been burned away. The fire that was meant to break you has refined you. The betrayal that was meant to distract you has clarified your sight. The delay that was meant to discourage you has instead unlocked your discernment. You are walking out of this not weaker, but wiser. Not timid, but tenacious. Not broken, but built for breakthrough. Yes, they tried to stop you. But what they did not realize is this: every attempt to hinder you became fuel. Every jab became a step. Every shadow word pushed you closer to the light. They activated a shift they could never survive, and in trying to block you, they confirmed you. There is a transformation happening within you. A holy shift. Your wings are forming in places you once bled. Your strength is showing in spaces you once cried. You're elevating not because you're trying to prove something, but because the fire removed what no longer belonged. The ashes are the proof, not of your defeat, but of your rising. Heaven is not done. Heaven is not slow. Heaven is not silent. Heaven has been building your capacity in the secret place. While others were watching for your fall, God was constructing your rise. And now you are stepping into that identity. Declare this in your spirit. I am not what happened to me. I am what survived it. I am not shaped by interference. I am shaped by obedience. I am not cursed by their envy. I am crowned by His calling. The attempted interference did not diminish you. It strengthened you. It exposed the false and elevated the truth. And now, the blessing that hovers is not descending upon a passive vessel. It's landing on a warrior forged in the fire of divine resistance. You're not stepping out of this season wounded. You're stepping out anointed, appointed, activated, alive. The shift has already begun, and now, so have you. Type I am rising in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 8855 is lighting your elevation path. Now listen with your spirit open, with your ears pressed against the veil, because what I speak next is not for the casual listener. It is for the one who has been sensing something heavy, divine, and unfamiliar hovering over them. What you've felt lately is not random. It is the weight of heavenly attention. It is the echo of your name, spoken in the courts of heaven. This is the why behind the warfare. This is the revelation you've been waiting for. In the high courts of glory, your name was mentioned. And when your name is mentioned in heaven, it must also be noted in hell. You were called out. You were called forward. You were summoned into fulfillment. The Father saw your stewardship. He saw the seasons you gave when it hurt, praised when it was silent, trusted when the ground was dry. And so, a decree was issued. Release the blessing. September 2 was not selected by chance. It was marked. It was ordained. It was stamped in eternity as the day heaven said yes. It was the day the treasury of divine provision opened and poured a financial shift toward your household. And yet, what followed was not celebration, but interference. Because the enemy doesn't attack confusion, he attacks confirmation. Hear this clearly. The battle you endured after the decree was the evidence that something had shifted in your favor. The interference didn't come because you failed. It came because you succeeded. And the one who tried to block it only confirmed that something too powerful for the natural realm had been set in motion. What the enemy tried to frustrate, God is about to finish. What was paused is now being resumed. What was swirling in the heavenlies is now being given form and weight. This is your unlocking. This is the moment where revelation meets reality. You're not just hoping anymore. You're holding on to confirmation. You're standing in the in-between space where prophecy collides with performance. And it is no longer a question of if, it is now a matter of when. Heaven has seen your response. You didn't panic. You didn't retaliate. You didn't abandon your post. And now, your obedience is echoing. It's not just noted, it's recorded. Angels have documented it. The Father has marked it. The courts have confirmed it. And now the manifestation is aligning with your yes. There's a reason your spirit has been feeling heavier lately. There's a reason you've been waking up at unusual hours, feeling like something is shifting in the dark. It's because the decree is moving closer. What was declared over your life is now pressing against the membrane of the natural realm. You're about to see it. You're about to hold it. You're about to walk in it. Heaven has not changed its mind. What was loosed is still on assignment. And though interference came, though someone tried to block what they could not control, the release is still searching for your agreement. Now is the moment to receive it in full. No more delay. No more doubt. No more waiting for someone else to affirm what God already decreed. Heaven has spoken. Your release has been written. Your name is still on it. Type "I receive the decree" in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 9922 is unlocking your scroll now. Just as heaven has spoken over you, this ministry exists to echo that sound into the lives of thousands who are desperate to hear God's voice in a noisy world. When you support this mission through super thanks, channel membership, or a seed offering via PayPal link in the video description, you're not just giving, you're joining heaven's distribution chain. This is divine transaction, not donation. You are sowing into prophecy. You are fueling the flow of revelation and making it possible for someone else's confirmation to reach them right on time. The Lord says in Luke 6:38, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." That's not poetry. That's prophetic law. Activate it. Step into it. Sow into it. The same anointing that flows from this word will begin flowing into your household. Blessing code 6161 is multiplying over every hand that gives. Be part of the miracle. The time for revelation has come and gone. Now comes the time for activation. This is the moment where words must become action, where belief must become movement, where prophecy must meet posture. Heaven is waiting for your yes, not a passive yes in thought, but an active yes in action. You are no longer standing at the threshold. The threshold is behind you. What stands before you now is an open realm, and that realm is demanding a response. You cannot just receive this word emotionally. You must respond to it prophetically. The gates of financial breakthrough, divine provision, and kingdom assignment have already been opened above you. Now the Spirit is searching for alignment. Alignment is not an abstract idea. Alignment is movement. It is positioning. It is the turning of your heart and habits toward what heaven has already declared. There must now be a holy shift in how you walk. No more waiting for external validation. No more waiting for confirmation from people who never saw your promise. This is your call to step forward. This is your moment to move with faith. You do not need full clarity to obey. You do not need full understanding to begin. What you need now is the courage to say, "Lord, I'm ready to hold what you released." Open your mouth. Make declarations that disturb the spirit realm. Say out loud what heaven has whispered. Declare over your home, "This house is covered by the release of September 2. Declare over your bank account, "My finances are coming into alignment with heaven's decree." Declare over your enemies, "No weapon formed shall prosper, and every tongue shall fall silent." These are not words of desperation. They are words of dominion. Words that cause angels to move. Words that trigger divine transfer. Don't just speak. Move. If heaven says you're free, then walk like you're free. If heaven says you're blessed, then steward like you're blessed. Make the appointment. Apply for the funding. Step into the conversation. Close the wrong doors. Walk past the wrong people. Cut the cords. Take the leap. Faith is no longer a feeling. Faith is your foot hitting the floor. Your destiny is not waiting on heaven. Heaven is waiting on you. The scroll with your name has already been unsealed. The strategy is being whispered even now. The ideas are not random. The urgency in your chest is not emotional. It's the Spirit of God pushing you to move in the earth the same way your name is already moving in heaven. The time of hiding is over. The time of waiting for safety is done. You are not being irresponsible by moving in faith. You are being obedient. And obedience will unlock what effort never could. This moment is where you become the answer to your own prayer. So rise. Command the air around you to shift. Speak to the blessing that is hovering and say, I am ready now. Land here. Find me faithful. There is no more delay. No more debate. The blessing is not coming to the comfortable. It is coming to the courageous. It's time to activate. It's time to align. It's time to walk in what was always yours. Type ITCAM ready to activate in the comments if you're stepping into your next. Blessing code 7777 is responding to your movement. Even now, while your hands are still, while your mouth is quiet, while your eyes cannot yet see the full manifestation, heaven is negotiating on your behalf. There is a silent exchange taking place in the spirit realm, and it is moving faster than your comprehension, deeper than your feelings, and more precisely than any earthly system could ever orchestrate. You are not waiting idly. You are not in delay without design. You are in divine transaction. Angels are moving in silence, responding to obedience you've already given. Words you've spoken in private are now being echoed in the courts of glory. Tears you've cried alone have been collected, stored, and turned into scrolls of intercession. Every sigh, every whispered "Help me, Lord." Every night you fell asleep with a broken heart but a surrendered spirit, it's all being converted. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. Heaven is not reactive. Heaven is precise. And in this moment, there is a spiritual trade occurring. What was intercepted by interference is being rerouted, returned, and reissued back to your name. You did not lose your promise. It simply entered a holding pattern. But now, the angels assigned to your breakthrough are moving in holy rhythm, aligning opportunities, softening hearts, rearranging rooms, and securing what was once tangled in warfare. This is the realm of unseen reversals, where God is working behind the curtain, realigning timelines and overriding delays. He is shifting the balance in your favor. You felt the tension in your body, haven't you? The restlessness, the agitation, the late-night wake-ups. That wasn't stress. That was spiritual sensitivity. Your spirit felt the shift long before your mind caught up. Your soul recognized the movement, even when your surroundings still looked the same. Because the realm of glory moves differently. It doesn't need noise. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't require explanation. It just moves. And in this moment, your obedience has become currency in the spirit. Your stillness has spoken louder than your defense. Your silence has been interpreted as trust. And now the exchange is nearing completion. You must understand, this is not magic. This is prophetic law. What is sown must return. What is prayed must be answered. What is delayed must be resolved. God is not a man that he should lie, nor the Son of Man that he should change his mind. If he decreed a release on September 2, then what was loosed cannot be undone, only redirected. And now it is returning. The enemy fought hard to cause interference, but he could not cancel the assignment. And the person who tried to stop your blessing, they could not touch what was already secured in the spirit realm. Their resistance only triggered the response. Their envy only provoked a divine defense. So sleep in peace. Rest in knowing this. You don't have to chase what's already circling back to you. You don't have to beg for what heaven already remembers. Even while you sleep, heaven works. Even while you rest, God remembers. Even in silence, your scroll is moving. What was meant for delay is now coming with force. What was stalled is now rushing toward you. And what was taken is now returning, with interest. Type "I receive the return" in the comments if you feel this in your spirit. Blessing code 1818 is moving in silence around you. Hear this loud in your spirit. Justice is already in motion. The throne of God does not remain indifferent to interference. Heaven does not sit idle when the righteous are attacked, when the chosen are targeted, when the obedient are opposed. What came against you, through betrayal, sabotage, delay, manipulation, has already triggered a divine reversal. There is a justice system in the courts of heaven, and it moves without error, without bias, and without delay once judgment is rendered. You may not have seen it yet in the natural, but the judgment has been spoken. What was meant to destroy your faith, diminish your momentum, and distract your focus is now boomeranging back to the sender. Not by your hand, not through revenge, but through righteous recompense. The enemy wanted you to get bitter. He wanted you to become your own defender. But because you remained still, because you trusted in God's timing, you've triggered a level of divine justice few ever see. This isn't just about financial restoration. This is about the vindication of your name, the reversal of the sabotage, and the public unfolding of a private war. Heaven is not only returning what was yours. Heaven is returning it with interest, elevation, and exposure. And hear this now. What interfered with your release didn't just touch your blessing. It trespassed against the will of God. And when anything or anyone places their hands on God's will for your life, they activate spiritual laws that cannot be overturned by apology or denial. Heaven saw it all. Nothing was hidden. This is the hour where favor will fall like judgment, swift, undeniable, and unmistakable. The very mouths that spoke against you will be silenced. The very hands that blocked you will witness your release. The very presence that resisted you will now see you rise in the very thing they tried to withhold. And not in a small way. Not in a quiet corner. No. God is preparing to make you a public demonstration of His justice. The divine scales are not just tipping, they are being reset. What was out of balance in your relationships, in your finances, in your opportunities, is now being brought into perfect order. Where you were overlooked, you'll be highlighted. Where you were lied on, you'll be affirmed. Where you were delayed, you'll now accelerate. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is covenant justice. And covenant always demands response. You did not imagine the interference. It was real. You did not exaggerate the betrayal. It was deeper than you knew. But here is your confirmation. The one who warred against your breakthrough has become the reason it's being released with greater force and multiplied favor. The reversal is personal. The justice is prophetic. The release is imminent. You are not just being restored, you are being elevated. The blessing is not just returning, it is being magnified. And every delay is now being overturned by the decree of heaven. The Lord says, I have seen. I have heard. I have judged. And now I will respond. Your name has been clear. Your path is now open. Your reward is now activated. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you believe the reversal has begun. Blessing code 2442 is balancing the scales for you. And now, beloved, the final word is this. Heaven has not forgotten. What was released over your life on September 2 still hovers, still burns, still presses towards your reality. It did not vanish. It was not stolen. It was protected, intercepted, and held by divine forces until you were ready to receive it in fullness. And now, the time is right. The blessing is descending. The scroll has been unsealed. The door is open. Archangel Michael stood guard when you didn't know you needed it. He blocked what was meant to break you. He silenced what was designed to shame you. He held back what would have shattered your faith. And because of that divine intervention and your obedience, you are standing in a supernatural window of release. But do not take this moment lightly. Do not mistake this for coincidence. This is a sacred appointment, and you are now fully within it. The urgency was not manipulation. It was divine warning. The 3 minutes of spiritual awareness and the 3 days of physical alignment were not arbitrary numbers. They were prophetic codes designed to unlock the exact timing of your breakthrough. This is your final call. Stay alert. Stay still. Stay obedient. The release is not delayed. It is landing. The blessing is not denied. It is confirmed. What is yours is not slipping away. It is arriving now. So breathe. Lift your hands and declare this blessing over your life. I am seen. I am sealed. I am sent. I am ready. The Spirit affirms you. Heaven surrounds you. Michael covers you. And the Father has already marked you. This isn't just a release. It's your reintroduction. You are stepping into your promise. You are walking into your proof. You are receiving what was always yours. Now rise. Step forward. Walk boldly. The blessing is your name written in fire. Type I am ready to receive in the comments if you feel this final seal. Blessing code 0002 has completed your release. And now that this prophetic word has sealed itself around your life, I invite you, not as a request, but as a holy invitation, to partner with the very well that just poured into you. When you sow into this ministry through Super Thanks, membership, or a PayPal seed linked in the description, you are not funding content. You are fueling kingdom assignments. Isaiah 55:11 declares, My word will not return void, but it shall accomplish what I please. And right now, you have the power to ensure this word reaches someone who needs it before their window closes. This is not a donation. This is a prophetic response. It's a key to unlock multiplication over your life. The all you sow into is the all that flows back to you. The grace you honor is the grace that follows you home. Blessing code 3210 is multiplying over every seed sown in faith. Sow as led. sow an expectation, and watch heaven pour back more than you imagine.